Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MKS here, back here with another video. And today I'm hoping to talk about football, as it's a Friday. I know I've been talking about football recently quite a lot. Got to admit, recently I've been in a bit of a foul mood, so I'm trying to calm myself. I've been trying to calm myself down for this video, so I'm going to try and be positive for this video. But I've been in an annoyed mood because I went out for a walk somewhere. I came back and I went to the gym as well on the way back, and then as soon as I got in, my mum had like 5 different errands for me already, so I was getting really irritable. So anyway, I thought before I make this video, I'm going to try and calm down and try and be positive. But I thought I'd say that anyway, because I normally do like to give my life stories and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, so I don't know why I want to say that bit, but I do often talk about my day. But I went to this like a social event thing that we normally go to, or that me and my mum normally go together, but I went myself today for a reason I'm not sure if I'm going to go into in this video. But anyway, I'm going to try and get back onto topic and be positive, as I say, and that kind of thing. So I've been thinking about this for a while, since last night really, or since yesterday at least, which is my top dreams for Italian football. So sorry, for football, especially Italian football and Celtic, but for football generally. So anyway, I hope football fans, especially Italian football fans and Celtic fans, enjoy these videos. And I think I was going to do a different intro, but anyway, I thought I'd say that. I think there's a saying, of all the best plans of mice and men. But anyway, I think there's an incentive for fans of Italian football and Celtic especially to check out these videos, because if they do get monetized, I do hope to, like I say, if I do get enough subs and it ever become monetized and that kind of thing, any money I make from these sorts of videos would go to Italian football and Celtic, so to the development of Italian football and Celtic, like football academies for Italian teams like Fiorentina, Roma, Juve, and all the other Italian teams, and for the national team as well. But anyway, I'm going to crack on with the list of my plans and ideas and that kind of thing. So here goes. So number one, I'd love for the Italian national team to become the most successful possible. Preferably the most successful nation in the world. And I hope they'll be recognised as such by FIFA, UEFA, and all those involved in football. So winning the most World Cups. I was thinking about this. I'd love for Italian football teams to win tournaments generally and develop football and people to practice as much as possible. I think one of the things that could help this goal is for Italians to practice as much as possible in parks, schools, playgrounds, obviously, and all that kind of thing, and wherever they can, parents and teachers and wider society in Italy to come together and to encourage, especially younger people, to play and practice their football. And I'd love for Italians and even those from the diaspora and Italian football fans around the world to network together and like share ideas and look at how they can fundraise to build academies in Italy, especially to benefit the national team, and to benefit Italian football generally for club and country, which I hope to come to. And I think that, I'd love for Italian teams to win like Olympics and Euros and things like that. But most importantly, are the World Cups. And I'd love to see Italy win more than anyone, Brazil, Argentina, France, or anyone else. The main competition, I suppose, is from Brazil and Germany and possibly Argentina, because I think they've won their 3rd World Cup recently. So they're sort of catching up with Italy. And if they're developing young players, or if they can win again soon, I know people talk about the champions curse and that kind of thing, but for those who follow football, of course. On that note, I'd love to get people who are not even into football, especially in Italy, to get into football. But I'd love to see more younger players be developed, and in the Olympics, which is, I suppose, normally has younger players involved anyway, which is one of the reasons why I'd love to see Italy do well in the Olympics for the future development. And I hope they'll play the youngest possible team. And also in Euros, I'd still love to see Italy play younger players, and especially in friendlies. I'd love to see those opportunities to play young players, and even in the World Cup, but more so in the World Cup. I hope there'll be a balance between young and old, and I suppose similar in Euros, but I hope they'll give younger people lots of opportunities and work together, the FIGC, and which is the Italian FA, and the national team, and Serie A, and even the grassroots levels, Serie B as well, and Serie G, and basically all those involved in Italian football, I think, should come together to look at how they can help younger people be given more opportunities to play and practice their football. towards the development of Italian football at club and country level. I think that covers everything for point number one. But as I say, I'd love to see more younger people. I know I covered that point in quite a lot of detail. Younger people being given opportunities, even in Euros, especially in the Olympics, and certainly in friendlies, and even in the World Cup itself, to play a few younger players, at least the youngest team they can possibly play, whilst having a few more experienced players in senior level football as well. Number two, I'd love to see Italian club teams do as well as possible. I'll cover that point in quite quick detail. So again, being recognised by FIFA, UEFA, and all those involved in football, especially FIFA and UEFA, as the best at club and country level. And both of those things, I think, will require investment, especially a club team sort of thing. But at national level, like building pitches, I have to say that word quite carefully, pitches, especially with my pronunciation, I have to say it quite carefully, pitches, stadiums, and academies and that kind of thing. Basically, spaces and places for sport, spaces and spaces for practice and practicing football and developing football, and spaces and places for sport, in this case football. I'd love for Italians to practice football as much as possible. And I have these mad dreams I was thinking about last night about how I'd love for Italians to, should be careful about what I say, but not be involved in things like the mafia or stuff like that, or even other sports, including something called calcio storico, which is a bit like rugby. I wouldn't want Italians to play rugby or cricket or anything like that. I'd want them to just to focus on football as much as possible and play as much football as possible, and former players to be PE teachers and coaches, managers of their own teams and things like that, to help with the development of even current players if they have opportunities like free time, so to speak. But yeah, both of those things will require investment. And I suppose it's not just investment, with the national team especially, it's not just investment in terms of monetary investment, but with the national team, I think it's more parents, teachers, and the wider society encouraging football. Maybe even like here in England, they have like football in the community. They probably have it in Scotland as well, and possibly in other parts of the UK, and maybe even outside of the UK, but they have like football in the community where people are encouraged to play football. Sometimes even police are like former footballers or whatever, and they might have got an injury and gone into the police, and they can be involved in coaching. But having youth facilities which give opportunities to practice and play football as much as possible to make Italy the best possible country at club and country level in football. So I dream that they'll practice as much as possible. With club teams, obviously they can buy players, so there's more financial investment involved. But even as a national team, it's more building those pitches, stadiums and academies and things like that. Number three, I'd love for Celtic to become recognised by FIFA, UEFA, and all those involved in football, as I say. Also, to become the to become recognised as the best team on record, or the most successful team in terms of domestic trophies in Scotland and the UK, and even worldwide, perhaps. I think at the moment it's Al Ahly from Egypt. Second is Rangers, just ahead of us, I suppose, and then third is Celtic, perhaps, I think, not too far behind. So hopefully Celtic can go over Rangers, our rivals, even on record. I know a lot of Celtic fans say they died already, but there's a debate on that, and I think their records are known by FIFA and UEFA. So I'd love for Celtic to officially be able to, even according to FIFA, UEFA, and all those involved in football, especially FIFA and UEFA, as I say, to be recognised as the most successful Scottish team. And I suppose because it's not as competitive as, say, the EPL, the English Premier League, or the leagues in Serie A, Bundesliga and whatnot, I suppose a lot of people say that's why it's easier for Celtic to become one of the most successful domestic teams, I suppose. Our rivals, Rangers, or nearest and dearest rivals, as I sarcastically call them, are also one of the most successful. I know this video's gone a bit longer than planned, but I was thinking, like, even if Celtic do what we did in the last decade, so from like 2014 or even before that, if by 2030 we achieve what we did before, even if we win, the Rangers mock us because we lost our the 10th title, so winning 10 in a row. They mock us for that. But if we had another decade, even if we won 9 in a row, it'd be better to win 10 in a row, of course, and that's a momentous figure, double figures and whatnot. But it's still I suppose technically it's only one less, even though it probably seems a lot less. But if we have another decade like we just had, I think it'll be pretty awesome for Celtic. Number 4, as I say, I think there's a good incentive for Italian football fans and Celtic fans to, maybe in football fans generally, who like to hear different opinions, even from rival teams or just football generally. I welcome all potential subscribers and viewers and whatnot, and comments, even if the comments might be harsh or whatever, even if people meme me or whatever. I welcome all of those sorts of things. A bit of banter or whatever, but I think there's a good incentive for Italian and Celtic fans to support my channel, subscribe to it, like the videos and things like that, because the better they do, and if I do manage to make money from them, the more money I make, the more money I can donate to things like Italian football and Celtic and whatnot. So I hope that's an incentive for any Italian football fans and Celtic fans out there. But I hope people who are nice, kind people will support my channel anyway as well, charitable people, or I'll say football fans even generally. Number 5, I'd love to see how I can benefit Italian teams like Fiorentina. I'm thinking of Fiorentina because it's a Friday. I'm going to go through that point quickly because the videos have gone on longer than planned. Number 6, once again, I hope I can see how I can develop Italian football generally at club and country level, and provide like 6-a-side and 7-a-side pitches, 5, 6, 7, and 11-side pitches, basically as many spaces and places for sport as possible. Number 7, for instance, 7-a-side for Celtic. 5, 6, and 7-a-side and 11-side pitches, and as many different size and shape pitches as possible, and stadiums and academies and whatnot, and opportunities as a spaces and places for sport, in this case football. And hopefully they can try different skills, like try learning Brazilian skills, and see what the youngsters being given opportunities to see what skills they can come up with, and be given opportunities to practice and make mistakes and learn from those mistakes and things like that. And there could be like especially 5, 6, and especially 7-a-side tournaments between Celtic and Serie A teams, or Italian teams generally. Number 8, I'd love for Italian teams and Celtic to have a partnership, the national team and grassroots teams and lower league teams in it, all the way up to Serie A teams, to practice with Celtic, especially at youth level. So I hope they can see what they can achieve together. And I'd love for Italian teams, or Italians as much as possible, Italian football fans, to have Celtic as one of their favourite teams, and vice versa, Celtic to have Italian teams as some of their favourites, or their second favourite team, or whatever. And I'll say vice versa as well. Number 9, I'd love to work with FIFA, as I talked about recently, and also to give fans more of a voice. I'd love to share my ideas as a neurodiverse person with FIFA, and look at how we can get more minority or diverse, basically, representation. I suppose worldwide, POC, people of colour, or whatnot, or non-white people, are actually a majority. So if you think about people from China, India, and places like that, all over Africa and Asia, it'd be great to see them have a voice in football, just like with international bodies like the UN, things like that. And also basically having diverse voices and opinions. When it comes to women's football, I think it's great that people get into football from all different backgrounds, but it doesn't really affect me, shall we say, for want of a better term. I heard someone say about, they're a Man United fan, they're saying that the English result, or the national team's results rather, they say they care about it a bit, but it doesn't affect them as much as Man United. So I'm sort of borrowing their term, for want of a better term. But like I say, if Italy's women's team won, I wouldn't be as happy, anywhere near as happy as I would be for the men's team. Not sure if it would bother me that much. It'd probably a little bit, but with the men's team, I'd be jumping for joy. Or any men's teams that win in for club or country with the Italian football team, with Celtic. But at the same time, as I say, I think it is great that women get a representation and get to play and enjoy football. And I'd love to get more people into football and hear different people's opinions. And I'd love it if, as I say, fans got their own say, so they could say, like, if there's any changes in the game, I think fans should be consulted first. And I think FIFA and UEFA and other football bodies should give fans more of a voice. So maybe in leagues like the Premier League or Serie A should give fans more of a say, so that they can have more of a say on the running of the game. That there could be opinion polls, things like that, on FIFA's website and on their Facebook and YouTube and things like that. Number 10, and finally number 10, I dream to develop especially youth football in Italy and Celtic. I'd love to fundraise as much as I can, especially for younger to develop more younger players, and or with the club team football to buy the best possible players as well, but also as they have a mix between having older players and developing younger players. Anyway, sorry if this video has gone on 5 minutes or more longer than planned. I did plan to do it about 10 minutes long, but I do waffle. So anyway, peace and love. I'm out.